Have you ever watched a plan you cared about completely fall apart? In that exact moment, the experience rarely feels meaningful. It is difficult to believe anything valuable could come from it. When opportunities disappear, there is a heavy, sinking feeling that tells us all our preceding effort and time was completely wasted. Think about these two paths. Path A on the bottom is flat and smooth. It represents a life without any resistance. Path B is steep and jagged, but it's the only one that actually climbs higher. Notice how the shape on the bottom path moves without facing any obstacles. Because it never encounters friction, it stays exactly the same size. If success came easily every time, we would stay exactly as we are right now. This raises a helpful question. What if the situations that feel the most uniquely unfair are actually preparing you for something you can't currently see? Instead of viewing a setback as a sign to stop, think of it as a process that changes who you are and what you can do. We can see how this works by looking at the physical world. In nature, pressure is the primary way that strength is created. Think about how muscles grow. Lifting a heavy, uncomfortable weight creates tiny micro-tears in the muscle fibers. The body then repairs those tears, rebuilding the muscle denser and stronger than it was before the strain. Psychological failure works the same way. A major setback places intense strain on your life, showing you exactly where you need to rebuild your habits or your mindset before you try again. To see this in action, imagine a woman named Sarah. For years, she pours everything into building a small business, only to have it eventually run out of money and close down. Her initial reaction is crushing. She spends months dealing with rejection and uncertainty. Just like the micro tears in a muscle, this season of failure is painful and exhausting. But this pressure is how her mind develops the durability she will need to handle a much heavier load later on. Closing her business forced Sarah to a complete standstill. That forced slowdown period was the first time she had to stop moving and start figuring out how to adapt. During that quiet, difficult period, something essential was being built. Beneath her visible struggle, Sarah was pouring 4 structural pillars she didn't have before: patience, resilience, humility, and wisdom. These aren't just abstract ideas, they are load-bearing requirements. Before a larger opportunity can be trusted to you, life has to verify that your foundation can hold the weight of real responsibility. If you stayed in the comfort zone and never built these pillars, a major opportunity would actually be a risk. Without them, the pressure of a big job or a large team would cause everything to collapse. For Sarah, the failure of her small business wasn't a mistake. It was the heavy excavation work needed to dig a foundation deep enough for what she wanted to build next. The time spent cleaning up the wreckage of a failed plan is often the same time required to build the groundwork for a much larger project. Years later, we find Sarah managing a much larger company. This time, when a major crisis hits her industry, she doesn't panic. She uses the resilience and the specific technical wisdom she gained from her first business collapse to steady her team and keep the company afloat. Her initial failure was the training ground where she developed the specific skills required to lead in this new chapter. To find the value in your own disappointments, try this 3-step framework. 1. Pause and reflect. 2. Ask, what is this shaping me for? And 3. Find the seed. Use the forced slowdown of a failure to analyze your progress. Instead of rushing to fix the external problem, ask yourself what new capacities or skills the situation is demanding you to build. Finally, look for the seed. The philosopher Napoleon Hill observed that every single heartache or failure contains the starting point for a greater benefit. He noted, every adversity, every failure, every heartache carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. When life feels incredibly unfair, it is not proof that you should stop. It is evidence that you are being shaped into someone who is capable of carrying more. If this perspective helped you today, please subscribe and share this video with someone who might be in the middle of their own training ground. We'll see you in the next one.